start standing today. Feet nice and wide. So just take a few steps out, get comfortable, start moving right and left, getting into those legs, getting some movement going, and then start to find stillness. We want the toes pointed at a diagonal. Go ahead and keep bending back and forth in those knees. Lifting the toes off the ground, spreading the toes. And continue moving back and forth and reach those arms up. Deep inhale, exhale, bring those arms down. Keep moving, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Good, let's find stillness, straighten those legs. Step those feet out a touch wider, toes at a diagonal. Pull up that low belly. Go ahead and place your hands on your low belly. Take a few bends in the knees, nice and slow, bending, and then straightening nice and slow, working these quads, bending. Think of the pelvis dropping straight down and up. We don't want the butt to go back like this. We want it to go straight down and up. Hands are on your belly so that you are focused on pulling that low belly in and up. Last time, down and up. Release those hands. Let's make circles with our shoulders. Going towards the back or the front, doesn't really matter, just circles. We're gonna reverse them. And then reverse those circles. Good, and then find stillness with those arms. Give those hands a little shake. Shake them down towards the floor. Getting into our hands, our arms, bringing the arms out to the side. Continue with that shaking. You can keep a slight bend in those knees for support. Let's bring the arms up, continue shaking. Like you're flicking water off your hands, like you're trying to dry your hands. And then bring them down to the side. And then down by your sides, by your legs, and then find stillness. Shimmy those shoulders. Find stillness, close your eyes a moment. Find your balance. Feel your legs pull up. Bring your awareness to your feet. How you're catching yourself from falling forward, from falling back. That core is still pulled in. Now bring your attention to your shoulders. Feel as if the shoulders are melting down the back, away from the ears. As if you're a turtle and you're sticking your neck out of the shell. Good, you can open your eyes or keep them closed. Let's bring our right ear to our right shoulder. It's okay if that ear doesn't touch. It's the idea of letting gravity drop that ear towards the shoulder versus your shoulder actually reaching up to touch the ear. We're just focusing on the stretch in the side of the neck. And then left ear over to left shoulder. Same thing, just let gravity do the work here. You focus on your breathing, focusing on pulling up in that low belly, focusing on the shoulders dropping. Bring that head back to center. Drop the chin into the chest. Turn your head right and left as if you're scratching your chin on your shirt. Good, and then bring the head back to center. Good, let's bring those arms up in front of us, up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring those arms down, nice and big, big circles, a couple more times. Spread those fingers nice and wide, like you're swimming through water, pushing the water away, opening up the chest. So you're really pressing, swimming forward, swimming forward. Good, let's pull those ribs back in alignment, so tuck them in. You want your shoulders right over those hips. Deep inhale, exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, slight bend in those knees, roll down through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way down. Again, if you cannot touch the floor, you can place your hands on blocks or a chair or your couch, wherever you want. Nod the head yes, shake the head no, take a bend in the knees and straighten. Make sure your toes are still out at that diagonal. Bend in the knees and straighten. Bend in the knees and let that tailbone sit low. So we're just trying to get into these inner thighs. Your hands are there to support you, so it's okay if you're more in a flat back. It's okay if your butt is up here. We're just focusing on those inner thighs. And then straighten the legs. So you're just gonna keep bending nice and deep like that. Bend, feel that stretch in those inner groin area, and lift those hips to the ceiling. And bend, and lift. Good. Now turn your toes towards the front of the room. So bring everything parallel. Walk your fingertips out a little bit so you have some weight on your hands. You want your legs to be straight if possible, heels flat on the ground. We're stretching our calves. So we're in a wide leg down dog, just getting a nice stretch in those calves. Then walk the hands back. Walk the hands over to the right leg. Let the head be heavy. Good, and then walk the hands over to the left leg. Good, come back to center. Bend the knees, pull that low belly in, tuck that tail, roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Let the arms be heavy like a zombie. Roll the shoulders back, bring the head on top of the spine. Keep those legs facing parallel. We're gonna bring our hands to our hips, reach that right arm up overhead, and then lean over to the left. Deep breath, side body stretch. From here, we're gonna turn our body towards the floor. So we're gonna turn everything towards the floor. I want one long line, so think of reaching out. Belly pulls in to support that low back. And then release the body down to the ground over that left leg. Good, bring the body to center. Bend the knees, roll up through the spine, tuck that belly in, roll up. Roll those shoulders back, head comes on top of your spine, bring your hands to your hips. Left arm reaches up, and lean over to the right. Deep breath. The more you keep that low belly pulled in, the more pressure it takes off your low back. It supports your low back. Now turn the body to face the floor, creating a nice flat back, a nice long line. Pull that belly in, that's gonna support your back. And then reach that hand down over that right leg. Deep breath. Come back to center, bend the knees, pull that belly in, squeeze those glutes, roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders roll back, ears right on top of the shoulders. Shimmy those shoulders out a little bit. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bring those hands down. Let's step our feet in, parallel. Tuck the chin into the chest, roll through the spine all the way down. Good. Let's make our way to all fours, so however you need to get there. Your knees are gonna be stacked under your hips, your wrists are gonna be stacked underneath your shoulders. That low belly is pulled in to support that low back. And then just shift forward and back, warming up the wrists. You should be very familiar with these moves by now. And circles one direction. These are my classic warm-up moves. And reverse. Excellent, find stillness. We're gonna reach that right leg out back behind us. So reach it out. I want the top of the foot on the mat. Everything parallel, so check in with your hips. Is your hip lifted? We want a nice, flat, squared off hip. If I could balance a cup of coffee right here on that sacrum, that triangular bone right here at the top of your butt crack and the bottom of your spine. Low belly is pulled in so that I'm not arching and I'm not rounding, right? And then once you find that you're all completely squared off, your knee is pointing to the mat, you're gonna lift this leg up. So we're getting a nice stretch to the top of the quad, really finding some nice extension here, and then tap that top of the foot down to the mat. Let's try that again. Lift it up, nice long line, tap it down. And lift. Good, tap it down, 2 more. Lift, tap it down. Last one, lift, tap it down. Very good. From here, I want you to open up that hip. So we're trying to turn that knee out to the side. So open up the hip. Turn everything back to parallel, square it off, face the mat. Now open everything up. So your chest is still facing the mat, but your hips are opening up to the side. Turn everything flat and open up. Keep it open. Slide that toe off to the side. Good. So you slid that right toe off to the side here. Now you're gonna let that foot relax down to the mat. And immediately you're probably already gonna feel a nice stretch in this inner thigh, inner groin area. If you feel that, you can stay here. If you want more of a stretch, you can go down to your forearms. Deep breath. You're not trying to crank or force anything. You're just feeling a nice stretch, getting into that inner thigh. Sometimes a little bit of movement in this position helps, so you can keep that low belly in and rock forward and back, just like we do on all fours. Good. If you're on your forearms, come back to all fours. From here, you're going to slide that toe back behind you, flip it back to parallel, so square everything off, and then bring that knee down to meet the left. Reach the opposite leg back. So same thing, we want to make sure our pelvis is squared. We don't want this to dip down because there's the coffee on the floor, right? We want to pop up that left hip, pull in that low belly, be able to balance a cup of coffee. Our knee is facing the floor, our chest is facing the floor, our fingers are spread nice and wide. Lift that leg up. So you're squeezing the bottom of the glute, the top of the hamstring, and tap the top of the foot down. And lift it up. Feeling a nice long stretch in that leg. Tap it down. And up. Pull that low belly in. Tap it down. 2 more. Lift up. Tap it down. Last one. Lift it up. Tap it down. Now lift it up. Open up those hips. So now your knee is going to try to face the side of the room. So we're opening. Keep that chest towards the mat. We don't want the chest to open. Chest towards the mat. Just the hips. Turn it back to parallel. Open it up. Turn it back to parallel. I know you're feeling it in your glutes. Open it up. Keep it open. Slide that toe off to the side. So now we have our left leg out to the side. Drop that foot down. And you might already feel that stretch in that inner thighs. That's totally fine. You can start to rock forward and back, or you can drop down to your forearms if that feels good. Hold, find stillness, deep breath. Wherever you are, just breathe. Notice how one side might feel different than the other. Good, and then if you're not already, make your way back up to all fours. Take that leg, slide that toe back behind you, bring it back to parallel, and then drop that knee in to meet the other. Go ahead and rock those hips right and left. Open your fingertips out to the side. Shift those shoulders right and left. Get the whole body going. Keep that low belly pulled in. Again, we don't want the back to just sag like someone's sitting on us. Nice, strong, flat back. Good, and then find stillness. From here, now we can arch through our spine. We're gonna press the floor away and curve our spine, dropping that chin into the chest, really pressing the mat away, finding a nice round shape in our back like a scared Halloween cat. And then exhale, drop the chest, arch the spine, lift the eyes, press the floor away. Good, cow pose. Exhale, 1 vertebrae at a time. Think 1 vertebrae at a time moving as you round through that spine to find cat pose. Exhale, cow. Good, do a few on your own at your own tempo. You can make circles, you can get your hips involved, you can go sideways, whatever feels good. Just a little bit of free movement here. Get into that spine. Good. And then let's make our way back up to stand. So however you want to get there. Our feet are going to start nice and wide again, and let's start going back and forth into our knees, just like we were doing in the beginning. Back and forth, back and forth. You can let the arms go. Give those wrists a little break. Make circles with the wrists while you're doing this. And then let's find stillness. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, bring the arms out and down by your side. Reach those arms out. Bend into that right leg. Tap the floor with your left hand. Tap. So I have 1 long straight leg, 1 bent leg. And bring the body up. So we're really pressing into that bent leg. So bend into the left. Cross and touch. Now to come up, I'm squeezing this left glute. Squeeze to get me up. My core is also lifted. Keep switching. We go right and up and left and up towards the right and up towards the left. And up. Bring those hands to center. Let's twist the body to the left and to the right, and then start to take your own pace Nice and easy. We're not trying to crack our back. We're just getting a nice twist. Take a slight bend in the knees if you feel that your knees keep kind of twerking and moving, if you don't want that. Good, and then find stillness, reach those arms up. Exhale, bring those arms down. Let's bring those feet together. Let's reach that right hand in front of us, our left hand behind for a twist. Now to take it up a notch, all we're gonna do is bend backwards slightly, and then bring that arm up and around and down. Switch, left arm in front, right arm behind, twist first. Nice twist, and then arch up and back. And arm comes up and around. Let's twist again, over to the left, up and back. Arm comes around, over to the right, up and back. Come back to center, arms are out. Some bends in the knees, let the arms go. And last, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands come down. 15 minutes.